Thank you guys for joining us. So we're going to cover a few items today. I'll make some quick introductions too. I'm Anthony Cahill. If you do not know me, Director of Ticket Sales here, and Caroline Meisen, who I think probably all of you have at least spoken to in person or via email, is with me as well. Caroline, say hello to everybody here.
Hello, crew. Thanks for joining us today.
So we're gonna just walk through a couple items. Caroline did a wonderful job with our Dan Kumi in productions, putting together a quick video, probably 10 minutes, about some season ticket holder testimonials and just recapping the year. We're gonna start with that, and then we'll jump into what's new for benefits this year. We have a pretty cool trip planned for season ticket members, and then we'll go into some merchandise and some ticket access stuff in case you guys don't know how to share tickets and do that type of stuff. And then, of course, the star of the show, I think, is Mo Vaughn's going to be joining us at around 1 o'clock. And Jim Kane, who's on here as well, our broadcaster and a fellow salesperson, is going to be interviewing Mo. So please, throughout this, if you guys have questions for Mo, throw them in the chat and we'll do our best to fit them in. And also, while we go over some of the benefits, if you guys have some thoughts on new season ticket holder gifts for this year, we're kind of doing our planning now. So throw those into the chat as well. Any kind of merchandise or anything you guys want to see, we're starting that planning now. But Jim, you're here with us too. You want to say hello?
There we go. Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is staying dry and warm, and hopefully we're thinking of baseball on a day like this. So,
all right, let's without further ado, Steve, you want to cue up that video?
The one morning I picked up the paper and the headline, "Pass out coming to Worcester." My heart just thumped.
When we first heard about it, I think that was Caitlin went right on a mission and started to investigate, how do we become season ticket holder?
my first few weeks, even my first month, I'd say, I remember seeing the bins of postcards. That campaign started by the late Gene Zabinski.
Brendan was kind of the initiator, and he's the one who does all our business and everything. And when he talked about the park, we said we're going to jump on it.
It's just, it fits right in. It made sense. It's where, it's kind of like where I belonged.
Interestingly, I was living in Tatnick Square, but working at McCoy Stadium in Pawtucket, making the 2-hour commute every day.
I said, one day, the Paw Sox are coming to Worcester, and they all thought I was crazy.
I think when I heard that the team was coming here, I was at work, and I just remember being really excited. I became a kid all of a sudden again. Like, I was thinking how great this was going to be. And
It was a great morning. I couldn't wait for 5 years for that stadium to be built.
Obviously, the move became official, and they announced it in August of 2018. And I was excited to hear it. At first, I thought that was a great opportunity. Obviously, the city was very aggressive and wanted us from the start.
And many members of my family now say, he knew something we didn't know.
it was a no-brainer to get season tickets for us. It was just, we knew we would have to come to every game.
Yeah.
I got in early as a season ticket holder. I didn't buy it for 1 year. I committed for 4 years. I got great seats. And Michael's going to be in my section this year, which is even going to be better.
I knew it was going to be an easy, everybody's going to want to come, and I was right. The way you can do it is I have 8 people that I call my shareholders, and we all split the 71 games. So everybody gets around 17 games per share. So I have my own form. I made it out. I know exactly what I want to do, and every game is listed. It's extremely fair how we run the system, and everybody's happy. Everybody gets 2 seats to 17 games.
From the season ticket holder base, And, you know, there are some that I've formed relationships with going back to, as I said, Pawtucket, that were season ticket holders at the end at McCoy Stadium, and have carried that over to now. And, you know, those are some special relationships that I'm going to cherish for quite a while.
I have had a really good time getting to know a lot of these people.
I remember just reaching out, and we were talking at the time to one of the ticket reps, and they helped us understand what to expect and a lot of the kind of the perks and bonuses that would come out of being a season ticket holder. And
I think having that connection, just knowing that there'd be somebody there if we needed anything, that certainly helps.
They walked us through the process, and we had never been season ticket holders for any teams before. This is all brand new to us, you know. So we were able to better understand what to expect, and picking out seats. It was a really exciting thing as well. Like really starting to understand like where our seats were going to be was awesome.
And it's one of those where you can pick up the phone and you can call them and you can joke around and be yourself a little bit.
The type of person who is willing to come out and support for 72 games over the summer is really a special kind of person.
Like the first seats, we decided to switch actually because the park was brand new, so we had never seen them. So when we decided to switch, the ticket reps were so great about helping us find seats that were better for us and to you know, be in a spot where we could really see the game perfectly. So I mean that's always been really nice, getting somebody that is willing to work with us. And
it's surprising that it was the first year in Worcester, because I feel it was a very well-oiled machine, but I feel like despite COVID, a lot of opportunity was taken to reach out to season ticket holders.
You know, I know one of my friends, he gives 2 tickets to his daughter and her husband. You know, in those 17 games, they came to probably 2 or 3.
yeah, it's very easy to use, I've found. So we went to most of the games, I would say definitely more than half of the games. And we were able to find friends and family who took advantage of the tickets when we didn't go. And it was great because they come to kind of expect those seats and really enjoy them when they're there. And yeah, it's very easy. Like to transfer tickets was very, very easy as well. Like if we wanted to donate or transfer them, the DUS program, it's all right online and we can switch things right around.
I did transfer a few tickets to friends that could leverage them.
In the DUS program, they were all in my account, and my wife and I went down my list, down my form. We saw that, you know, the letter corresponded to the shareholder, and I would just send them their 2 tickets.
I think the coolest thing that I've learned with working with our season ticket holders is that every single person has their own story, and whether it's a father and his daughter coming to every game, or someone being able to buy tickets, then be able to give them to youth groups at their church, it's just really special to learn about why people want tickets. It's so much more than baseball. Being here at this ballpark and seeing the relationships that are made, that's probably my favorite thing about being able to work here.
One thing I do want to say, that there's a friendship that starts here with strangers.
One day, Bob came out, the trainer, and I had like 10 baseball cards of him. And I asked him to sign it. James came over and said, "Who's this guy?" I said, "He's the trainer. He's the trainer of Buffalo." He had connection back in Cincinnati from where he's from, school, and we clicked. We had a conversation on how we met on certain players and certain teams.
We have good friends now that we sit next to, exchange holiday cards with, and literally drive by their house on the way to bring Caitlin to school. And I think of Walt and Linda, and we'll see them shortly.
And you bring other people in like I did. Now you have something to do all summer long with friends, and you're bringing people together.
We've had a great friendship. We've went to the games all the time. We've gone to all the events at the stadium, and it's been wonderful because, to me, this is my summer office, and Michael's my new baseball friend. We're just fans.
My favorite memory of the WooSox so far has been the last game of the first year.
I feel like in a way it was a farewell to people.
But the question for last year's greatest moment, my heart would be the Chris Dale day. Chris Dale pitching, Tate Matheny robbing that catch. Boy, did I jump out of my seat when I saw that catch. He was almost over the wall. I was over the railing.
I still get chills to this day thinking about the home opener on May 11th, and what a day that was. It was an early day. We all had to be in around, I think it was 6 or 6:30 in the morning. But what a great day. And that really felt like being in the big leagues.
There's been a lot of memories this season, and I think one of the most special memories is probably the first moment I ever was able to really meet a season ticket holder.
I think the end of the season celebration we did, where folks got to show up and pick up their gifts, and they didn't know what they were getting. And to see the look on their faces when a lot of them, when they got to see their ticket, their opening day ticket that was in a casing.
These were absolutely awesome. The idea, whoever thought of this, because to us, I have a little shrine of everything that we've received pretty much. And we're talking the magnets to this, to that, and it's just, this is incredible.
You know, getting these tickets was really special too, because I think, you know, we got one for each seat, which was so exciting. And so mine is up in my office too, and it's a real conversation piece. And people say, you know, how do I get one of those, and how do I get season tickets? You know,
Season ticket holders in particular, it's such a big investment for them, investment in money and investment in time, that we're just so appreciative of them for, they keep the lights on here. They're the ones that are not only just the tickets that they buy, but you know, they're the ones that are using the concession stands, that are buying the merchandise, that are telling their friends about the ballpark. They're our biggest advocates. And for us to have so many of them and the numbers growing, it's not lost on us how important they are to what we're doing.
The experience will be one that we'll always remember.
Our season ticket holders really are some of our most loyal fans, and we want to be able to give back and say thank you and keep on creating some exciting things. So definitely lots to look forward to in 2022.
I think season tickets is the way to go. You have your own seats, and you pick them yourself. You know, like my seats are exactly where I want to be. You know, behind home plate, and it was my choice. You know, I paid a little bit more, but the people in my group, they didn't care. They love them. They love where they are.
As far as when WooSox came to us, I mean, this is our Red Sox, you know, our WooSox, and it was just exciting for the whole thing to see it being built, to seeing ads, you know, how they're promoting it. And to me, this is a ballpark honor, actually, that I wouldn't have done unless it was for this ballpark.
And this city has just embraced us with open arms, and I think we're forever grateful for that. And we're also in debt of gratitude to our season ticket holders, because those are the folks that really have been with us from the start. There are some that were with us in 2019 when we weren't even here yet, and there was, you know, no stadium built yet. So the support, the loyalty has been there for quite a while now, and I think a lot of people will echo my sentiments in saying that we're in a debt of gratitude to the fan base here. And I think the season ticket holders this year are in for something very, very special.
Thanks so much, Caroline, you know, for putting that together, corralling all of us in there. Those stories were pretty awesome. And I know there's so many more too, right? There's so many more stories out there, but we really appreciate everybody for investing their time and being a season ticket holder with us. And Caroline, thanks for putting that together. Steve, why don't we get a quick PowerPoint. I do want to make sure we maximize our time with Mo here. So we'll breeze through this PowerPoint quick. We do have a couple points we want to hit on.
What schools should I go to? Yeah, there's a lot of people out there
All right, so can we skip ahead a couple slides here? We don't need to go over the highlights. And so these were our gifts last year, of course. So please, either in the chat now or shoot us an email Caroline, email me with some of your suggestions. We're kind of in the planning process now, so we'd love to hear. Last year was kind of a surprise, but would love to hear what you guys think, what you guys want this year for gifts, and we'll do our best to match that. So this is something new. So we talked a lot in the off season about what can we improve, and I think we can never over communicate to season ticket members and half season holders. So Caroline's going to be sending out a monthly newsletter, and this is just going to be giving you guys a heads up about, say, events like this or other events that we're going to have throughout the off season and in season, and just open up the lines of communication. I think the idea is to do a little bit of roster stuff, a little bit of baseball stuff, because that's why we're here, but also a little bit about maybe reminders about how to use your tickets, maybe featuring some season ticket stories like we just went over, because we have so many more that we want to kind of expand the network and the community that we have here. So just be expecting, starting in February, we're going to start a monthly newsletter just to keep everybody in the loop about certain things we got planned. And this is burying the lead a little bit. This is a big one, and we're pretty excited to announce this. So in July, we don't have our date ready to announce yet, but in July, we're going to be taking a season ticket member trip up to Portland in Havelock Field to see the Sea Dogs play. And we have a pretty good relationship with the folks up there, of course. They're in the Red Sox family. So we'll be loading up a number of buses, going up there for one of their weekend games. And they have some kind of like our Hanover deck seats. They have these all-you-can-eat seats. And we'll be buying a big block of those for you. You won't have to worry about the cost of them. And we'll get there early. We'll all eat some food together, watch some baseball, and then we'll get back here in enough time, not too late at night. So we'll take a day trip up to Portland, which should be pretty cool because, here at Polar Park, we're seeing future Boston Red Sox, and we'll be going up to Hadlock to see future Worcester Red Sox up there, kind of like, Tristan Casas played a lot in Portland last year, and then we got to see him in Worcester. So we'll probably get a preview of some guys that we might see at the end of the year this year. And thanks, that was Caroline's idea, and we heard from some fans that they wanted to take a trip, and we thought Portland was maybe more exciting than Scranton, Pennsylvania, at least for now. So that's where we'll be going. It's actually not a bad drive at all. So we're pretty excited about it. And Caroline, excuse me, Caroline, I'll let you take it from here. This is kind of a Venn diagram of benefits. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but maybe just the highlights of what the fulls and what the halves are receiving this year.
Definitely. So we're finalizing the dates within the next couple of weeks, but as you can see, we're planning lots of different events for full season members and half season members. Starting out with the much loved batting practices. We'll do member orientation, a couple of those sessions end of February, beginning of March. So you can get to understand more about your benefits and also how to specifically use your tickets and share them, donate them, then just use them for yourself. For the fulls, we're going to be doing different speaker series, meet the manager, that huge baseball on the road opportunity. And then we'll be doing our family movie nights again. And then also there'll be a team store discount for full season ticket members. And this kind of leads into what we want to share with you guys today. If we go to the next slide, this is the first exclusive look at the new merchandise that we're going to have in the team store for 2022. So lots of new hats, lots of new windbreakers, polos, long sleeve sweatshirts. And we actually have a couple of season ticket members on this call right now who would like to be able to share some of the goodies that they recently got. So let's open it up to Kip Whitaker and Sam Whitaker first.
How's everybody doing? This is a, it's a great 08 Under Armour t-shirt that'll be great in July and August. It's and then I got this sweatshirt. It's a 3/4, it's a quarter zip pullover sweatshirt with a hood, which will be great in April, when for opening day. And then, the water bottle is definitely worth being hydrated for. So it's great stuff. It fits great. The quality is unbelievable. So, I would definitely recommend getting it as quick as you can because the stuff's going to sell out for sure.
And tying into that water bottle too, part of the new things that we've put into the ballpark for this new season are new water refillable stations. So you'd be able to go and fill up those water bottles whenever you'd want to.
So I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now. It's like a full zip up. You can like unzip it all the way. I think the brand is Antigua. And then this is just a t-shirt, and the brand is Under Armour. I like this sweatshirt a lot. It's like really thin. It's good for when it's like going to be warm and then it's going to get colder as the night goes on. And then I also have this mug, which I also love, and it has like a cover, and you can close the cover if you want, so you can make it like a to-go travel mug. And you can obviously take the cover off too, so it can just be a mug.
Perfect for some hot chocolate today, right? And then I want to jump on over to Spencer and Caden. Let's see what you guys got.
Yeah, so we got the, it's perfect for today's weather. We have the Under Armour sweatshirt. It's got the camouflage WooSox on it. Super, super comfortable. It's lightweight, but warm, which when today's weather, it's perfect for. Caden got a nice little jersey here with the WooSox logo on the front. And then on the back, when he spins around for you, we had his name put on the back of there, or Caroline had his name put on the back there for us in the year 2022. So these jerseys are pretty nice, a little large for him, but he'll grow into it. And then we also have the fitted WooSox, Winter Socks, Under Armour shirts. I wore this last night in my soccer game. It wicks away the sweat pretty well. And our season tickets are right up close to the wall where there's a lot of sunlight. So this is going to come in handy to kind of keep the moisture off my body, keep me cool throughout the game. So looking forward to repping this. And this is a good quality shirt. You can wear it year round. So it's really nice.
Awesome. Very cool. So thank you guys for showing with everyone what you have picked up and been able to have so far. And we're offering a special discount for season ticket members that'll last through tomorrow. So I'll put that in the chat. And if you have a pen and a piece of paper, you can write down it's STM22. And so you can go ahead to that, to the online team store and pick up whatever you want with this extra discount for you.
Okay. Thanks, Caroline. And thanks everybody for showing off that good stuff. So we have, let's see here. We were going to show you a video on dust, but I also saw Mo was in here. Mo Vaughn, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for joining us. And we have a big group of our season ticket holders in here. And I'll turn this over to our broadcaster, Jim Kane. He'll run this segment. He's got some questions for you. And of course, anybody who has some questions, throw them into the chat and we'll do our best to work them in. But Jim, I'll let you take it from here.
All right. Thanks, Anthony. And thanks, Mo, for spending some time with our season ticket members here today.
Absolutely.
First things first, we've got to ask you, the Hit Dog, where does that nickname come from for the folks who don't know?
I think my college fraternity, when I was at Seton Hall, that was our emblem was the bulldog. So that's how that whole Hit Dog name started, was at Seton Hall from the Omega Psi Phi fraternity.
So from Seton Hall, I want to go back to 1989. You get drafted by the Red Sox in the first round out of Seton Hall, obviously. And at that moment, Mo, what's going through your mind? You get the call saying that you're getting drafted by the Boston Red Sox in the first round. What was your initial thought about Boston and coming to start your major league career here?
First, I was just happy to be drafted, but I think, being drafted in Boston was really great because I had a lot of family members coming out of the Roxbury, Mass area. I had been going to Cape Cod every summer, my entire existence. So I had been going, I had been going, I'm on Whaley Street in Roxbury with 40 or so family members every Thanksgiving since, that's how we were raised. So between that, knowing that I'm going to be playing, there's a AA team in Britain, Connecticut, which is close to my house. I'm in the Rhode Island area. From there, if I make it to AAA, and then, as a kid, my cousin and I, Mike living in, he was living out of Brockton. We'd be going, riding our bikes by Fenway Park, looking up at the lights, and I, he reminded me saying, I said to him one day I'm going to play in that stadium, and for it to be my home stadium at the time was just outstanding. So there's just been a lot of great ties all the way from from Connecticut to Rhode Island to Massachusetts by putting on the Sox uniform.
So you obviously knew, growing up and being around this area, just how passionate and how different this fan base was. And, as you came up through the system, obviously you played in Pawtucket at McCoy Stadium. And then, of course, when you get to the big leagues and you do fulfill that dream of playing at Fenway Park, was I don't want to say pressure, but the intensity and the passion of the fan base, was that something that you thrived off? Because clearly you excelled playing here in the region that you grew up.
Actually, I didn't know, to be honest with you, which is kind of crazy. I'm from Norwalk, Connecticut, which is basically southern New England. So we were picking up Mets, Yankees. I went to school in Connecticut. You have New Englanders and they talk to you about Boston. And you knew of Jim Rice and other places. But I don't think anybody is prepared for the intensity of the fan base. And at that time, we hadn't won anything in so long. It was getting to be very, very tough, a very, very tough place to play due to the fact that there wasn't much success. And I think in the 90s, it was like culminating almost on 90 to 100 years of pain. It was tough. But I always looked at it like, I wanted to be one of the first to try to make it happen. So I kind of enjoyed the necessarily enjoyed, but understood directly what it was. You're going to come to this ballpark, you're going to play hard, and you're going to do your job. And if you don't do your job, you're going to hear about it. And I think for me, that made me a better player, no doubt.
I want to go back to 1995. Obviously, very special season for you with winning the American League MVP. Was there a moment during that season for you where you realized, okay, I'm in a groove, like things are really clicking for me right now? Is there a specific moment that you remember like that, Mo, or was that just something as the year went along and you started putting up numbers that you thought, I'm putting together a pretty special season here?
I remember my buddy Robert Clemens came up to me with about a month to go in the season. He goes, "You're in this MVP race," and I'm not even thinking about that. Like, I don't even, I'm not even looking up above my helmet every day. We're going from last to first. The year before, we were in last place. We get Kevin Kennedy and his coaching staff. Jose Canseco comes in, just a bunch of tough-minded individuals, which is what you need to win anything in Boston. But all of a sudden looked up and we're in first place. And I think I was just going for it at the time. And then Roger was like, "Man, you're in the MVP race." And I'm like, "I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I'm just trying to put up these numbers." And then it happened. And I was like, wow, it was very much unexpected. I was just happy for the team. I thought, I had some of my greatest 95, 96 with some very good years for me in the uniform. I just thought it was a great time. But at that time, I wasn't thinking about it much. It kind of hit me in the end.
So you secure MVP, you play a few more years for the Red Sox. and then you spend 2 seasons in Anaheim, and then you finish your career playing for the New York Mets, a team that, as you said earlier, that was on TV a lot growing up for you down in Connecticut. How different were those places now that you had played a long time for the Red Sox, so you had gained an understanding? How different were those places, Anaheim and New York, from playing for the Red Sox?
I just think that we athletes always need to be careful of what we wish for and realize, even in my case, I left the Red Sox basically because of one man, and all the other stuff was fine with me. But I made a choice to go in a different direction. And I think I didn't realize how good I had it and how good I was and how I mastered handling the batter's box at Fenway Park and driving the ball over the Green Monster anytime I wanted. I can do things in that batter's box just because I knew it so well. And you can never get that back. You can never get certain things back when you played a long time and you've made some, you've established some roots, some footholds. Just the normalcy of going to Fenway Park, driving to the stadium. Those little things are things that you just couldn't recounter. And then, the example is, I go to Anaheim, I'm playing the Indians, somebody hits a foul ball over the first base dugout. This foul ball is 40 rows back. I'm running like it's right next to me. I fall, I land in the dugout. I'm in a terrible position with my knee and ankle. And 5 years later, I'm out of the game because I can't use my backside anymore. And that's what I mean, that just the familiarity, that would have never happened at Fenway Park. I would have known where I was. I would have known everything about the situation, but it was new and, things happen. So you could never repeat, what I had there in Fenway Park with the fans and, even the media and what we were trying to do at that time.
Want to ask you about another Red Sox slugger who dominated the left-hand batter's box and hit a number of home runs of his own over the Green Monster, and David Ortiz. Obviously, the news coming out earlier this week of him being elected to the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. Just your thoughts on Big Papi and the news this week and what he was able to do.
I think it's tremendous. We're always talking about these other things that really don't matter, but I just think it's great. The guy came to Boston, really turned his career around. Probably the best clutch hitter in playoff and World Series history. He brought 3 world championships to the ball club. His name's up in lights forever, and it should be. And it's a great thing, and it's great, honor for the Sox, for Fenway Park, for Boston, for everybody involved with the organization to see him there. So we're very happy for him.
Well, you've stayed connected to baseball since retiring with the Vaughn Sports Academy. Obviously, that's something that's very near and dear to you. What made you want to start that, and why did you want to get involved with the coaching, the mentoring side of the sport?
Well, my son started playing the game 4 or 5 years old, which brought me back to the game. I never really thought I was going to be coaching youth baseball, but I think, I just wanted to get involved and make sure that the game is being coached right. And then this whole academy thing came along. This whole academy thing started. I had one of my teams get invited to the state championship out here 4 years ago. And they let me know like May 29th we were gonna be playing, June 29th. And it rained like 28 straight days. And we didn't get a chance to practice. Like I said, that will never happen to one of my teams again. We're gonna always have a place to go. It's just ridiculous. We actually came in second in the state that year. We only practiced like one day, so that really bothered me because I know if we had practiced, we probably would have won. But that's how the whole academy was started. You have an opportunity to get around young people, teach them the game, teach them what the game means, teach them how to play the game. I think baseball is the essence of life. You do a lot of hard work for very, very little success. What they call successes, the percentages are very, very low. And you have to internalize and work hard and stay focused and all these different things that the game teaches you. So the academy now, VSA Academy now is just going strong, continue to work, continue to affect, young boys playing baseball, young girls playing softball, continue to get good coaching. I'm even coming out with an online hitting model now for youth sports because, and I just say this with all due respect, there's just a lot of garbage out there on the internet. And anybody out here listening and watching, if you have a young child, please be careful what you see and what you do and what you follow on the internet. And hopefully, you get to some real people and real coaching that's gonna coach things the right way because it's a tough enough game without people teaching it wrong. So that's really the basis of how the academy is started, why it started. What I'm trying to do is just teach the game and teach it the right way, and give people an opportunity to get better.
Outstanding. Well, it looks like we have some questions from our season ticket members here in the chat that we can go through here with you, Mo. We'll start with the top. And Paul asking about the Paw Sox Hall of Fame induction. I think that was about 5 years ago now. Obviously, you had spent a couple of years playing in Pawtucket for the Paw Sox, Mo. What can you tell us about being inducted into the Paw Sox Hall of Fame?
I just think it was great. I wasn't in Pawtucket a long time, but we had a really good time when I was there. People hanging those cards down, at McCoy Stadium, at the time, Ben Mondor, a really first-class organization, to play AAA, was playing in Pawtucket. And I think, just making that connection, my parents coming to the game every day, every homestand, just the all around, just being involved in all the guys, Ben Wallace and all the guys over there. It was just a great situation. So to be inducted, it was great. And to be inducted with Joe Morgan, who gave me my first opportunity to play in the big leagues, was even better. So I will always remember that, and I'm happy to be in that type of history.
Another question here we have from Chris is, what changes do you think baseball should make, if any, to make games shorter and attract a younger fan base?
Listen, you got to love baseball, to watch and understand the game. It's not a game you can like. It's not a game you can watch casually. You got to love the game. I think, one thing we need to do is understand where analytics is and where its place is in the game. And it is a place, but it can't be the game. There's a place for it. We can use it, but it can't be the end all be all. I also think, and I don't know. And then I was looking back, sometimes I show some of my sons some hitting videos, and they were shifting. I think they were shifting on me even at the end of my career. But this shift has caused a lot of left-handed hitters to take the approach of, well, either I'm going to hit it over them or I'm going to strike out. And I think we need to figure out how to adjust that, how to make the game get back to the game that we all love to watch, which is good pitching, good defense, and timely hitting. The guys know how to run the bases. Guys know how to put down bunts. Guys know how to play the game. And I think we've gotten so far away from that, it's made the game tough to watch. But you have to love it. You have to love the game to sit down, and it's never gonna be 2 hours and 30 minutes. We want it to be 3 hours, 3.5 hours, but it's gonna be 2 hours and 45 to 3 hours to watch the game. That's just the way that it is.
This question here from Mark was a question that I also had for you, but I'll try to tie it together. Monday, as part of our winter weekend festivities, we'll wrap up by honoring Jackie Robinson on the eve of Black History Month in what's going to be a great event with Oil Can Boyd, Bob Kendrick, the president of the Negro Leagues Museum. And I asked that because you were the last Red Sox player to wear the number 42 before it was universally retired. Talk about with that, being the last Red Sox player to wear 42. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. I think we all know that, what Jackie Robinson did in terms of just integration of people, let alone it was just a game. And it was really tough, probably tougher than I or anybody else could withstand. But he's just a great person, ambassador, a legend for bringing, integrating the game at a very, very tough time and giving all minorities opportunities to be able to get out on the field and play and produce. And I think that's, what it is exactly that. We wouldn't have the opportunities as minorities, Blacks, Latin players, anyone to be able to play the game if it weren't for him. So it's a great honor to wear his number. Being the last is great also. But it's just a great thing.
This next question comes from Matthew. If you could have been a teammate of any player, past or present, who would you choose?
I always will choose Roger Clemens. I think, Roger always wanted to have listen, we all want to be tough, and we always want to have that persona of toughness and strength. And he was definitely that. But he was just the best guy. He was just a guy that, as a player, where I hit in the lineup, people were coming at me, throwing the ball, brushing me back. And he would just take care of all those things. And it was just great. And then his sense of humor as a pitcher and his knowledge and his work ethic is second to none. In the same way, like a Pedro Martinez. But guys that hit in the middle of the order, we always love the pitchers that protect us, and he was one of them. And he was the best at it.
Looks like we have a couple of more questions. Ryan asks, which pitcher gave you the most trouble at the plate and had your number? There probably weren't many, but was there a guy that sticks out to you as being, tougher than most during your career?
When I came back to Boston and had to face Pedro, it was just electric, man. Usually people, baseball is deception. We want to throw a ball near the strike zone for you to swing at it or swing over it or swing under it. We want to throw a breaking ball that starts in the strike zone and then it ends in the bottom of the strike zone. Well, Pedro could throw the ball in the zone for strikes and get you out. He was just that electric and that good and had that pinpoint control that he was just dynamic with his pitches in the zone. They were strikes and you still couldn't hit them. And that's when I realized how good the guy was. He just was a great pitcher.
Final two questions here for you. Another one from Paul. Other from Fenway, what stadiums did you like playing in the most?
I like playing in. I'm an East Coast guy. I love playing the Yankees, and I love playing and I love playing the Orioles, and I love playing and hitting in Fenway Park. But I really did some damage in Yankee Stadium, and I did some damage in Baltimore also. But I think it was all because, my father's from Maryland. From Baltimore, Maryland. I'm right down there. 30 minutes out of Southern New England and Norwalk. I went to school at Seton Hall, so I had to have my game tight when I came to Yankee Stadium because there was a lot of people watching.
Outstanding. And the last one that I think is the most fitting one for this group here on this Zoom, Kip asks, have you seen Polar Park yet in person? And if not, when can we expect you to make your first visit?
You know what? I was just looking at the preview and they were talking about the tickets. It's nice over there. Looks really good. Maybe I can get up there once this whole thing breaks out. Don't understand. I'm gonna be there. I gotta make an appearance. I know it. Been caught down here in Florida with this pandemic, traveling, and my parents, and trying to stay clear. But as soon as everything breaks, you will see me in Worcester, and I look forward to it.
Well, I think that's a perfect way to end it. We'll wrap it there. Red Sox Hall of Famer, American League MVP, and 3-time All-Star, Mo Vaughn. Thanks for hanging out with our season ticket members, Mo. We appreciate it. Great stuff.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll get through this this strike and how these things go, and hopefully we'll be back on the field soon. See you later. All right.
Anthony, Caroline, back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Mo. That was awesome.
Okay.
That was some great insight.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
So that concludes our season ticket session here. But thank you all. Thank you all for joining us for this session. Good to see some familiar faces. And we're 2.5 months from opening day, if you can believe it. So we'll see you all soon.
Thanks, everybody.